Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a concept system. So I'm not going to show you guys anything that you can buy, unfortunately, but I am going to share with you a concept or an idea to explore, or potentially something to invest in if this is a system that will work for you. So the video is going to be titled Ankle Carry EDC Concept, because this is what this is here. It's an ankle carry for EDC items. So I'm going to talk about how this concept came about, how this was built, and potentially what you can do to get your own. So bear with me, it's going to be a little bit longer video, I suppose. But a few years ago when my best friend and I were getting into, you know, guns and knives and that sort of thing, naturally we kind of came into the culture or the community of people who were prepared at all times, you know, whether it be a flashlight or maybe a full-size multi-tool or band-aids or, you know, drivers for said multi-tool. That's what this system right here was designed around. So I don't really like to use the term system. It sounds a little, I don't know, cliche, but I can't think of a better term at the moment. So anyway, so this particular one essentially was based on this right here, and this is a Galco ankle rig with a PM9. So as I mentioned, when my best friend and I were getting into EDC type systems and items, we wanted to figure out how to carry all the stuff that we needed, but potentially how to do it in slacks or discreetly, or if our pockets were full with other things, be able to carry all the stuff they wanted to without using a fanny pack or something of that sort, because those are pretty horrendous. So the idea came about essentially based on this Galco ankle rig. At one point I was looking online and I came across a Galco ankle safe, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's used for carrying handcuffs and other things. And I said, well, I already have an ankle rig. I'm already used to carrying you know, a weapon on my ankle or something that's a little bit heavier. You know, it shouldn't really matter if on the other ankle I want to incorporate some other type of gear. I mean, there's some people who carry a gun on each ankle, and if that's your prerogative, cool. So if you have ever carried an ankle rig before, or you're used to an ankle rig, or you think it's something you might be interested in, then that's essentially where this idea came from. So what happened was my best friend, he's an engineer, and so he basically based it very heavily off of this one, took the basic kind of form and design, and then incorporated a pocket for a multi-tool. As I open this up, pocket for a multi-tool, pocket for a flashlight. It does have a Velcro pocket back here for band-aids. And then it has these small slots in the front for drivers for the Leatherman Surge. And so he did pretty much all of the design work, and we found someone on essentially kind of Craigslist who is a custom tent maker, and we approached him with the idea, hey, we want, you know, a neoprene type system. We want to incorporate these specific things like a pocket and a flashlight spot. And so we approached him and he said he would do it. And so we had essentially 3 of these made at a cost of basically $100 each. So not inexpensive, but it was a custom-made system. And the benefit of this is that you can wear it, again, under your slacks, or you can take things into work that might be frowned upon if they're hanging out of your pockets. So again, I have a full-size Leatherman Surge in this pocket, but you could just as easily put something like a pocket knife into this pocket and carry it that way if you don't want a flashlight. I mean, really, if you want to kind of invest in this option, the sky's the limit as far as what carry items you can essentially format this for. But you know, we only wanted to have kind of 2 big items on the side here, because if you put too many, it would become very cumbersome and it may not wrap correctly. So I'm not going to get into this design specifics simply because I didn't design it, but that's kind of the basic ideas there. So anyway, so we approached this custom tent maker. He had his employee essentially do most of the work. We had 3 done, and then when we had those done, he said he did not want to do any more, not to have anyone contact him about it, because again, custom orders of this type are kind of a pain in the butt. But essentially it's neoprene. with a satin polyester type material. And yeah, so this is the EDC kind of system that I wanted to talk about. It's the pros of it again. Discreet, it's fairly comfortable. Again, neoprene. If you can get your hands on some of the, I think like, what is this, like sheep's wool or sheepskin or something, then that would work very well. Just depends on what materials you have access to. Now, some of the cons with this system are the same ones that you would have with like the Galco ankle rig. It takes time to adjust to get used to the weight on your ankle. After a couple weeks though, you don't really notice it anymore. It does make your ankle hot. These things do kind of trap heat around your legs, so if you're someone who's constantly sweating or you don't like to be hot, that might be a problem for you. I guess the third is that it's expensive and you'll have to find someone to make it. Now again, we had a custom tent maker make these. Perhaps if you have a seamstress or a dressmaker or a tailor, any one of those people could potentially make something like this for you. But I would recommend you kind of go in with like a template. Again, the Galco ankle rig or ankle safe, if you have one, is an excellent template to base it upon. This one was designed for a, what is this, a 4/7 AA. Now I have the shorter one, my friend had the longer one, and the screw was in the middle, and so when he put his in, essentially it was the same length to the bottom, but his protruded a little bit higher, which wasn't a problem. One of the other kind of limitations in the design, if you do have a pouch made, make sure that it's covered all the way up to basically the top of the pouch. You can see it's got an elastic band here, and one time I was running to catch a train and I actually lost my surge. It like slipped out of the side. Walking, never had a problem, but running, I lost one and I had no idea, which was unfortunate. So if you do have one of these made, take the side of the pocket all the way pretty much up to the top here so that things can't potentially slip out with the elastic. So and then there are these little pockets here, which are for the, you can buy additional bit sets and drivers for the Leatherman Surge. And so that's what those pockets were designed for, as well as a larger Velcro pocket. And I've got Band-Aids in there. You know, Band-Aids and Neosporin would be good. If you want to put some zip ties in there to potentially cuff someone if need be, then there's that option as well. But again, this is a concept video, and I hope it's given you ideas that you can use to potentially go out and have something like this custom made if you've never thought about doing this type of system before. So yeah, here is the used a fairly good bit of Velcro. Again, this side is wider so you can adjust it. This side is a little bit shorter so you can figure out where you want it. So yeah, so let's do one last shot compared to the Galco here. Length is pretty much the same. You know, it's a little bit, my camera's struggling to get everything in frame here, but length is pretty much the same. The width, I believe, yeah, is pretty much the same. Again, this was based very heavily on the Galco ankle rig because, you know, they knew what they were doing when they built this. Again, the amount of Velcro on the soft side versus the amount of Velcro on the hard side, differences in size there. So this is probably the perfect template to kind of base your dimensions on. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gave you some ideas. Again, not a product you can buy. I can't really point you towards the maker. I honestly don't remember. It's been a few years now. And I was going to wait to do this video until I got the blueprints that my friend did and his that was a lot more worn, but I've been waiting probably like a year and a half to do this video, so I said let's just do it. So that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram under Epic Snuggle Bunny as well. And I'm also a co-host on the Modern Neanderthal podcast, and I will put links to everything down below. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you do end up having something custom made, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about what you did and if it's working for you. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.